Welcome back, everybody. We're going to start our presentation on Zoom today. We'll skip over the interpretation slides because I don't think I heard from Jose either, so we might not have to interpret this call. In which case, Elena and Heidi, feel free to leave or go however you feel if Flor is at an appointment and I don't think Jose is coming today. Okay, so first we'll start off with our principles on language justice. We're just want to make sure that everybody has open and equal communication to the space regardless of the language they speak. This is a shared responsibility like disability access. If we did have a multilingual group with us today, we would set up interpretation on Zoom, but we will skip it for now. But a good practice to just keep in mind is to just state your name every time before you speak so that people who might be joining either on the phone or if we're an interpreter to interpret, they'd be able to know who's speaking. Some tips for all of us is to please speak slowly and clearly. Think about key points you want to make and keep it brief so you can take your time. Don't use abbreviations, acronym, or jargon, and if you do, please define them. And for the sake of the Zoom call, if we had interpretation enabled, we would ask you to stick to one language. Yes, so for now, we're going to skip interpretation. All right, and next we're going to have a land acknowledgement. So the practice of land acknowledgement is an offering to deeply engage in our collective space, place, history, and positionality with the intention of centering the original people of this land. So a helpful guide that you can use to determine which native lands you are occupying is the website called native-land.ca. So when you click on that, it will allow you to put in the address and the native people who inhabited that area prior to colonization and in the now. And an offering to pay a Shumi land tax, which is a land tax done offering by urban Ohlone women of the Sogorea Land Trust. And so if you are looking for a way to give back to the land and the original inhabitants of this land, I encourage you to pay the Shumi land tax. And now I will see if anybody wants to participate in the land acknowledgement. You can either share through the chat verbally by unmuting yourself or silently reflecting on the land and the people. All right, I think the interpreters are logging off. So thank you, Elena, for being here. Oh, I see Cora's calling me from class. Let me pick that up really quickly. Hi, Anna. We're just doing the land acknowledgement portion. Thank you for joining. And then I see Maureen Mitchell wrote Ohlone Coastal as the lands that they are joining us from. Great. And let me send the Zoom information really quickly to Cora, who asked me to send the link. Awesome. So with that, we'll keep going. Next, we'll just run through the community guidelines. They're the same from each class, but remembering what's bringing us together. No bigotry, hate, or slander will be tolerated. Assume positive intent. All truth is truth. Take space, make space. The Vegas rule, which means what is said here stays here, but what is learned here leaves here. Each one, reach one, teach one. Ask permission to inquire after a share. Practice self and community care. One mic, one voice. Correct with care. Don't assume knowledge. If you use academic terms, please explain them. And appreciate cultures through community. Are there any others that folks would like to add today?
Did we do step up, step back?
We did not. But we did take space, make space.
Okay, okay, same thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, this is the same checking question to share my screen. So we're just going to start with what is Zoom? Zoom is a way to virtually meet people, multiple people from one distance, kind of like what we're doing here now. We're able to log in, click that link, join the Zoom call, and see and hear from each other. So it's available on what's called multiple platforms. So that's just different ways you can use Zoom. You can call or dial in by a phone number. So sometimes you might receive phone numbers from Zoom calls, and you can call in and basically hear the audio of the conversation. You can join from a computer or web browser. So that's how some of y'all have the camera features, because you joined from the Zoom app or the zoom.com. If you have a tablet or smartphone, you'd also be able to join through the Zoom app. And my recommendation is to choose the platform that you're the most comfortable using. And also a note that when you're trying to be professional, if it's an interview or something that's a little bit more professional over Zoom, phone call may not be the best option, just because on the phone, Zoom does limit quite a lot of the features that you might have. And it's better to use a computer or a tablet or something of that sort where someone can see your face if it's a professional setting. And so some basic controls that I want to highlight if you are joining us from a computer is this main control bar that's typically located at the bottom of your screen. Here, you'll be able to look through multiple different options that you have as a participant in the call. You can mute or unmute. There's a little caret key on the side that gives you more options on sound. You can stop or start your video, another caret with more options, and we'll actually get into some of the options that might be offered in the video background section. You can invite people to the call. You can see the participants in the call. You can share your screen, which is the green icon here. And we'll go through how and what preparations you'd have to do if someone did ask you to share a screen. You have the little chat box and the record button. These are typically the functions that are given to every person in a call, as well as the button to leave the meeting. There's sometimes people will ask participants to raise your hand in a Zoom call. You can reach the reaction to raise your hand in multiple ways. You can simply go down to the control panel and press on the reactions button. You'll see that there are a bunch of emojis that you can use to react, and that'll show up at the top left corner of your screen, as well as the raise hand button there. You can also type star in the chat to raise your hand. You can also, if you're joining from a phone, press *9. And this option I actually haven't tried, but apparently if you press Option Y or Alt Y on your keyboard, it'll also raise your hand on Zoom as well. So these are just multiple ways of getting the same thing, which is just raising your hand on Zoom. And I see Maureen is raising your hand and Regina. Maybe we can have everybody try finding the raise hand feature right now. Try to get everybody to raise your hand. Yay. Oh, wow. Look at all of those hands. So again, all you have to do is press *9 if you're on the phone, star on the chat, or use the reactions tool.
Is there one for lowering our hand now?
It's the same place.
Oh, so I just do option Y again?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm so glad. All of y'all raised your hand.
And everybody's putting them down. That's super cool.
Y'all are
Yay.
quick learners.
All right, everybody, raise them again.
Let's start a wave.
My tablet has lower hand option.
All right. Hi, Angel. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're just practicing how to raise your hand on Zoom.
Oh.
Perfect. All right. So we're just, oh, I see, Angel, you're already participating in the activity. You're raising your hand.
When I do type star in the chat, it doesn't raise the hand.
It doesn't? Let me try doing it.
No.
It might be an older feature that they've disabled now.
I've never used that before, so I tried it. It doesn't.
I tried it too, so I'll get rid of that one. In the future, yeah, I guess the star doesn't actually give you the raised hand. But thank you, everybody. And Lupita, is that a hand to ask a question?
Yes, yes, Bisma, when I go to the features, I only can use that one, the raise hand. I cannot use the wave, I cannot use the heart or the crying, stuff like that. No, only the one that is on top is the only one that I can use. Raise your hand or lower your hand.
So typically that can mean multiple things. It can mean that sometimes your device isn't compatible. So the device itself that you're on doesn't have emojis or doesn't have the software. Or you might need to update Zoom, because sometimes what Zoom does is it takes away certain features until you update the program. So it could be one of the two, but I think it might be the first. All right, thank you for that question. All right, we're gonna keep going then. So next we're gonna talk a little bit about the chat feature. So you'll notice the icon for the chat is just that text box. You can actually change that blue to box, and instead of sending a chat to everyone, you can choose to send a private chat instead. So if you're joining from a tablet, you might actually have to swipe and press on more to access the chat, or specifically look for the settings on the chat. So right now, I want everybody to private chat me, Bisma, and you can just say hi, you can say anything, but I want everybody to participate so that they know how to get to the chat. Yeah, the messages are rolling in.
Can I just say, make sure when you're done sending to Bisma that you go back up to the chat and you put it right back on everyone.
Oh yes, thank you for that. Yeah, so make sure you change afterwards to everybody instead of my name so everyone can see it. Oh, y'all are so kind in the chat.
Because I forget that a lot of times, and then I'm sending something for everybody to one person.
All right, let's see how many messages I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
This is Maureen. How do you get back to everyone?
So you'd have to click on that option again that you selected for my name and just scroll all the way to the top where the first option is everyone.
Okay.
Bisma, this is Tumbuelu.
Yes.
So once first we select whom we want to send it to. And then we go to the chat box, put the message in, and then we push send.
Yes, you got it.
Okay, will we be able to see the message that we sent to the person?
It'll come up. So once you send it, it'll come up at the top to kind of show the running transcript.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just responded to your message, Tolumbuelu, on the chat. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. For the message. Yeah, I got your message, Angel. I got everybody's message in the class. Wow, everybody's so quick to learn. Awesome. All right. Next, I'm just going to talk about closed captioning. So automatically we enable closed captioning for these meetings. If you do want to see the transcript, you can click on the little caret key next to the closed caption box and show subtitle. This is the same box you would check if you want to disallow the subtitles to show. So if you want to get rid of them, it'll, instead of saying show subtitle here, it'll say remove subtitle or cancel subtitle. But this is just for your information. I can also send the closed caption file to students who have who want to read the transcript after, just so that they understand what verbally was said during the class. So in case you want the transcript, let me know. I will send it to you as well.
I'm not seeing where the closed captioning is. I'm sorry, Bisma.
All good. Let me see if it's live transcript. It should be on. Typically it's automatically set as on for all the participants in the call, but you might see a CC button on the bottom, or in the more options, it'll say subtitle.
View full transcript. No, meeting settings. That's what I have.
Okay, so it might be that you don't have the option to turn it off on the tablet, but the view full transcript would give you the closed caption file.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
yeah, of course.
Excuse me, Bisma, it's Dorma. I would like to know, was the question, can anyone get transcripts from the meeting?
So it depends on the setting that the host put. Typically, it's the host that has access to the transcript, and you can request in an email to get the rest of the transcript, or like Tolumbuelu just said, right in this call, you can actually get the transcript yourself. So if you press on the 3 dots that say more, and then press the view full transcript, it'll automatically give you the closed caption for the entire meeting.
Where do you go again?
You press more, the 3 dots that say more, and you press view full transcript. It should be the 5th option.
All right, thank you. Got it.
Yeah, and if you would like, I can email you the transcript at the end too, if you're interested. Yeah, all right. Next, we're going to talk about the different ways you can engage on the screens for a Zoom call. So Zoom has what's called a gallery view. And in the gallery view, you're able to see all the participants in the call. So they turn up and they show up as little squares. You can go back and forth between either gallery view or speaker view, which is when there's only a single person at the top and then tiny people kind of at the panel on the top too. And so the way you go back and forth between speaker and gallery view is by clicking on the grid at the top right of your screen. This is from the perspective of a computer. So if you're joining from a tablet, you might have to look elsewhere. This might not also be available on a tablet because tablets have a smaller screen than a desktop, but you can go between gallery and speaker view if you want to change. But because I am sharing my screen right now for the class, I'm sharing my PowerPoint's presentation, you can't see gallery view or speaker view at the full length because you have that screen I'm sharing. So this would be something that you can try. If I were to stop my screen share, you can go back and forth between speaker and gallery view.
Can we
So
try it?
we'll try it after I stop sharing my slides.
Okay.
But I have a few more that I want to cover first. But thank you, Aria. Actually, yeah, why don't we just try it now? So basically at the top right, you'll see a grid that says view. When you click on this, you'll be able to go between speaker and gallery view.
I don't have that on my screen.
No.
Android tablet. I
Oh,
don't have
tablet. So that's the thing. If you're on a tablet, you won't be able to do the changes in the view because tablet screens resolution, they don't make little squares like that.
Although I have it in my my iPad, but then my iPad is not working that good. It has a gallery in the iPad.
Oh, really? On the iPad? So maybe some of them are starting
I
to.
don't have it.
Excuse me, Bisma, it's Linda. I mean, Dharma. Are you speaking of green screening and Mary?
I'm not green screening right now. I just stopped my screen share and now I'm going to start sharing it again once we have people try the gallery view. And
What were you guys talking about?
we were talking about gallery view and speaker view on Zoom. So how you can change between seeing all the screens of the people in the Zoom.
Oh yeah, okay, I got it.
You got it.
Yeah, the gallery, standby, full screen. I got it. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's typically just the top button at the top or top right corner is a view button. And this is typically on a computer that you're able to go between the speaker and the gallery. And Lupita?
Yes, I have a question, Bisma. I can see people if I move, it's like 6 points and I can see different people. I don't have the feature because it's my phone. It's an Android. So I understand that. And so that's I can see other people like this, not all of them, but like in parts. Now, the question that I have is this. You told us that we need to update the features, right? How can I update the features here on the phone? Is it possible to do that?
Do you have the Zoom app itself?
No, that takes to my next question. I don't know if I have an ID. I can see when you told us to go to see the beginning, I could see that I have a number assigned by you in this chat. But it seems to be that I don't have an ID number or I saw one time that I had an ID number, but I never really subscribed. I don't know. I don't even know how I got it. So how can I find out which one is my ID number? How come? And if I have to pay, because it seems to be that some of the stuff you need to pay for, right? With Zoom?
So with Zoom, typically, all right, thank you, Anna. Thank you for being here. Anna has to.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Let's see. And then, so to answer some of your questions, Lupita, we'll get into some of them later in the presentation, but you don't need a Zoom account to get onto this class. You did have to register, for instance, but you didn't need to actually have a Zoom account. Zoom, you would know if you made a Zoom account already because you'd have to make a password with your email. And if you didn't do that, then don't worry, Zoom didn't actually create a meeting ID for you or a personal meeting room like that. So you'd know if you made a Zoom account. However, you can download the Zoom app and these things even if you don't have an account. But some of those features, like you were talking about, like the hand raise, all of these are accessible from the app. And in order to have the app and make it and update the app and stuff, you'd have to have an account. And so, yeah, some of those features you might have to actually make an account to use. But I, for instance, have a free account, but I use Senior and Disability Action's paid account to hold this class because of the restrictions on size and time that the free accounts have. I'll go into the difference between the private and public accounts and how to make an account with Zoom as well.
I have a question, Bisma.
Yes, Aria.
I tried to go to the meeting settings under more, and I found that one of the items there says show my video in gallery view. So it's turned on, but then nothing appears in gallery. There's no gallery.
Yeah, there isn't. I don't know what that option is for, to be honest. So it says show in gallery view.
Yeah, show video, show meeting in gallery, show video. Let me see again. It says show my video in gallery view, and it's turned on, but then nothing shows in gallery.
Yeah,
There's no
it doesn't.
gallery.
I guess it's just like a fake button, like a button that would work, but because if you're on a tablet or something, yeah, I don't know what the point of that button is.
But then, you know what? Before, when I was first using this tablet initially, I can see 4 faces.
Oh,
Like that. But then I can't do it anymore. I don't know what happened.
okay. And is this the Zoom app, or did you go to are you on a browser for Zoom?
I have the Zoom app.
Okay, so maybe you might have to update your Zoom app. In which case you'd have to go to the store in your tablet and check for updates to see if Zoom has an update.
Okay.
I might on Monday have a short presentation, some slides on how to update your app on Zoom, so we can do it together. But I didn't include that for today's class.
Okay.
But we can do that together on Monday. All right. Thank you, everybody, for your questions. And we're going to keep on going for the presentation. So sometimes you'll notice when you're on a Zoom call, your computer might not have the right speakers to support your audio. In which case it might be really hard to hear people speak during a Zoom call, or people might not be able to hear you. So because of this, Zoom actually allows you to use your phone for audio. So basically you're logging into a Zoom call twice, one for your video so people can see you, but also the other so that it works as a speaker. So the way that you would do this is basically by clicking on the caret key next to the microphone, the mute button. You would leave computer audio. So click on this button. And after that, Zoom will give you a phone number to call to join the meeting. Once you dial that phone number from your phone, you'll automatically be entered into the Zoom room, and you can use the speaker, phone, and mic of your phone instead of your laptop or computer. This will just make the audio a lot easier to use, and it might be something you would consider using if your speakers of your computer are broken. So like I said, the third thing, this blue button or tab usually comes up, and it'll tell you what to dial. It'll tell you what the meeting ID is, which is what Zoom might ask to redirect the call. And so just making sure that you click on the flag of the country that you're dialing from and follow the instructions that Zoom give you to get your phone connected.
Excuse me, Bisma, it's Brenda. I have a question. You're talking about the international number when you can't get into, or Is that something don't worry about?
Don't worry about it. So basically,
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
this is only the case if your speakers in your computer are broken, then you can call in from your phone while you're on the call. So this is just saying how the computer Zoom will tell you to log in from your phone. And so by clicking on that little microphone caret, the caret next to the microphone, you can leave computer audio and Zoom will tell you how you could connect your phone instead for the audio.
Oh, so you kind of speaking that you can kind of synchronize it and raise the volume.
To your phone.
Is that the idea?
Of
All right, thank you.
course. Thank you for asking. Lupita?
Some reason it keeps connecting. It says that and you're not. Then I wanted to put the video, my video, like you were blocking video. That went the same, going connecting, disconnected. Nothing what you did the last 45 minutes, and hopefully you can help me out of class with this.
Yeah.
The time you know, like 2 or 3, I will try to find it. It's something wrong probably with my phone, but
Hi, Lupita. I don't know why, but your audio is cutting really out. So I think you said that you wanted to meet outside of class for something, and we can definitely do that. Did she leave? I think her call got dropped. But yeah, I'll connect and make sure that Lupita's question is answered. All right. Okay, next we're gonna talk about backgrounds and filters on Zoom. So this is a fun little feature on Zoom that lets you create like a story behind your person or actually put things on your face during a Zoom call. And so we'll talk about how to actually access these things. But first, I wanted to go over the difference between a background and a filter on Zoom. So a virtual background on Zoom is basically a digital image, or it can even be a video. The Zoom software places behind you. So within your video's camera view. You can use any image as your virtual background as long as you have a copy of it saved on the device that you're using. So it can be a download file or something of that sort. A video filter, on the other hand, is a digital image that the Zoom software places on top of you. So it's a filter that lives on your person. You are limited to the filters that are available within the Zoom software. So unlike the virtual background where you can choose whatever image you want on the internet on your background, with the filters, you are confined to the filters that are within Zoom. The first question to ask for accessing the Zoom backgrounds or filters is your device capable? So virtual backgrounds and filters may not be available depending on the device you're using. Unfortunately, most Android devices cannot do Zoom background or filter. So I have included a link in this slide specifically to see if Zoom can support the specific device you have for video and filters, which is unfortunate that Zoom is not doing more to engage with Android users in making sure they have equal access to these programs. Next, we'll talk about how to access virtual backgrounds and filters. So again, you might try this, but realize that you can't actually access this on your computer, but you might as well try it as well. So on a computer, you'll see a little caret key that appears after the stop video. When you click on this caret, it'll give you a drop-down menu where you can choose either choose virtual background or choose video filter. If you have these options available, that means that your device is compatible with background and filters. So you'll be able to see these two options if you click on the caret key next to the stop video. If you're joining from a tablet or smartphone, and remembering that not all of these might have it, you'll have to click on the three dots that say more, depending on the device, and to access the drop-down menu. Here, you'll be able to see the backgrounds and filters section come up again, which you'd be able to click if the device is compatible. So again, if you're on a computer, you'll have to click on the caret key next to the camera to access the background or filter. But if you're joining from a tablet or smartphone, you'll have to click on the three dots that say more and click on backgrounds and filters. So virtual backgrounds, this is taken from the Community Living Campaign's tutorial on virtual backgrounds for this presentation. So you'll see Peter from Community Living Campaign who gave this presentation last time. But basically for virtual filters or backgrounds, when you click on it, it'll automatically show your camera and how the background looks behind you. You can preview yourself. Zoom may have some choices already for you, predetermined that you could use. You can also add your own backgrounds if it's saved to your computer ahead of time by clicking on the plus key on the side in order to allow you to open your camera roll and add more photos. You can click none to turn off any virtual background that you have. Another important note is to make sure that you have, I have a green screen checked off. This just ensures that Zoom doesn't think that you're sitting behind an actual green screen, but will take the image and just apply it to your background. So you'll notice that next to the video backgrounds, you have the video filters tab. Here you'll be able to choose within Zoom's video filters category, and you'll see that it automatically appeared on Peter in this photo. Once I stop sharing my screen, we'll actually practice doing video filters together and backgrounds together. So to say that we'll do it, but it's the same thing. You can scroll down to find more options. You can click none to turn off any video filter you have applied. So specifically within video filters, you might also be able to access studio effects on the Zoom call. Studio effects is within video filters, and you'll have to click towards the bottom right to access this. But these studio effects basically can enhance your eyebrows, your facial hair, your lip color, to make you appear more professional on the Zoom screen if you're interested. You can also have the checked box that say apply to all future meetings in case you want it to be a setting that Zoom saves for you altogether. Again, you can click none to remove the filters at any point. Are there any questions about studio, video filters, or video background?
I need a question. My tablet doesn't have backgrounds.
Yeah, so that means that your tablet might not be compatible with Zoom's filters and backgrounds, in which case you might actually have to download the Zoom app to access them on the tablet, or you might just have to use a computer instead if you want to access these features. But yeah, unfortunately, not all devices are compatible. Most Android devices aren't. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen to see if folks want to practice with either video filters or backgrounds. So again, if you click on either the caret key if you're on a computer or the more button, if you can't access the backgrounds or filters, just write in the chat or say verbally, I don't have access, the same way Angel did. I got the Golden Gate behind me. Let's see. Ooh. Added some fun little toys, but hopefully some of you may be able to play around with these features. There we go. I see you have a little badge, Lupita. Number 1. Do people know where the video backgrounds and filters section?
Yeah, okay. It's up here.
Henrietta doesn't have access.
Oh, I see. You have to plug it in.
I'll plug it in. Plugging that in.
All right.
Got that.
All right.
Maybe now would be a good time to take a little break, a 5-minute break. And oh, you have the background app, but you don't see Studio. Yeah, that might not be a feature that is available to everybody, because I don't know if I even have it. Let me try. Oh, so Studio Effects would be on the bottom right. It'll come up as like a blue text that says Studio Effects if you have it, but it might not be available on the tablet. But let's see, can folks play around with filters? And then maybe now we'll just take a 5-minute break. So come back at 4:20. Thank you, everybody. All right, and if folks are off camera, can I just get a reaction either in the chat or through like an emoji to let me know that you're here, or just tell me you're here? Perfect.
Girl, I'm here.
Yay.
I'm
Awesome.
here, Bisma.
Thank you, thank you.
I love your crown, young queen.
Oh, I forgot it's still there. Thank you. I want something cute, but I want something that won't distract you.
Oh,
don't
that's
want
super,
your
oh, that's
frame.
super cute. Maria, I love your frame and I love your background. That is so festive.
Thank you. I'll take the whole thing.
Oh, super cute. You look really cute all framed in with happy faces.
Each color meaning.
Nice
how
frame, huh?
Oh, Maureen, I love that.
I'm interested, it's Linda. I'm interested, how did you get those, two pictures in one?
How do you do two?
They click on more than one? The
Yeah,
filter?
so basically what Aria did is she did a background. So you can choose the image that you want to upload by clicking the choose virtual background. So if you click on the caret key next to
You have a filter and a background, right?
yeah, filter in a background.
You already had your background, then you add the filter. Okay, and that's so you have more than one.
Yeah, you could put more than one filter sometimes too. Like you can.
Oh, okay. So, oh, like you can do the eyebrows and lips.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Actually, this is the only social program that I know. That's 18 months. I know no other program. I know Zoom.
Oh, how do you remove a reaction? You just click on that reaction again. So if I press the yes button, if I press the yes again, it gets rid of it. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna start sharing my screen again.
Won't go, it won't remove. I can't remove it.
So you have to press the same button again. So you have to click the reactions and then click the yes sign again. So I just got the yes sign. And so then to get rid of it, I had to go back to the reactions and press the yes button again.
Actions and you can see I'm trying to click on it. It won't go.
Maybe try clicking another button. So not on the screen. So you'll have to go back. Are you on a computer or a?
Yeah, I'm on a computer.
So you'll have to go back down to the bottom where it says reactions. The same place you have to go to like raise or lower. Yeah, there you go. You got it. Awesome. Okay, now I will start sharing my screen again. And asking everybody to unmute unless they're speaking, please, to avoid the background noise. All right. So next, we're going to talk about how to create a Zoom account together. Why would you want a Zoom account? Like we had mentioned, you can actually schedule your own meetings for free and invite other people to the call. So there are a lot of good benefits to the free Zoom account. You can meet for up to 40 minutes, and I believe you can have up to 100 people on the call. So if you did want to do like a quick meeting with a friend or something, you can ask them to meet you over Zoom if you want to see how they're doing too. And so that was some of the perks of having the Zoom account, as well as sometimes accessing the filters and the videos and the different things when the updates come. So to create a Zoom account, you'd have to go to www.zoom.us and basically click on the sign up, it's free button, and then click the answer the prompts and click the link that Zoom sends to your email in order to create a free or paid account. I honestly don't think there are many benefits to a paid account unless you're doing large, regular, reoccurring meetings, in which case you should probably ask like a community organization that might have like an account to put on or sponsor an event instead. So to say that Senior Disability Action has a paid account right now, that's how I'm able to hold this class. And so it makes more sense for an organization to have a paid account rather than just one individual person. So when you log into Zoom, you'll have to first open the Zoom account and answer those questions that they ask. Typically, it's just like your name and your email and setting a password. And Zoom will also send an email to you and ask you to put the code in to confirm your account. Once you have a Zoom account, you can either download the Zoom app directly on your computer or phone, or just visit www.zoom.com whenever you want to go to a meeting. So there are certain differences between joining from like a browser or an app, but the app is what's preferred because you're able to access all the features within Zoom meeting. So once you have an account, all you have to do is go to zoom.us, open Zoom and sign in. You can then sign in with the Zoom information by typing the email and password that you created for the account. Hi, Dorothy. Thank you for joining us. And so now we're going to talk a little bit about how to schedule Zoom meetings. So here is the main settings page for Zoom. So when you open the Zoom app, you'll have the home, you'll have chats, you'll have upcoming meetings and contacts you have over Zoom. You'll have these 4 big buttons on the left with a new meeting. You can join a meeting. And what we're going to focus on is the schedule button. So after you've logged into your account, your screen should look something like this. If you click schedule, you'll be able to schedule your own Zoom meeting. So these are the questions that come up when Zoom asks you to create an account or create a meeting. So first, it'll ask you for a topic, which is the name of the Zoom meeting. So what is this meeting about? Is this a senior and disability university course? Is this a gathering among Bisma's friends? Is this a holiday planning party meeting? Whatever you want the topic to be, you'll name it. You'll attach a date and time. So whatever the date, whatever the time you want it to be, you can set the time zone as well. You can also click whether or not you want this to be a reoccurring meeting, which means it happens more than once on a regular basis. So is it a weekly meeting? Is it a bi-weekly meeting? You can set those up ahead of time so that one link will give you access to all of those meeting times. You can also select either like a randomized meeting ID or a personal ID. So this is what Lupita was talking about. Once you create a Zoom account, Zoom will give you a personal meeting ID. You can use this personal ID to hold your own meetings. But if you want it to remain anonymous, you don't want your name tied to that account or that meeting for some reason, you can ask for Zoom to automatically generate it for security purposes. This will just make sure that no hackers or no scammers will potentially join the call. So it's better to always use a generate automatically meeting. You'll also be able to do the security channels, put a passcode, so only users who have an invite link or passcode can join, a waiting room function. So if you notice for this class, for instance, first when you click on the link, it says the host will let you in shortly with like a little spinny icon. That's because you're in the waiting room. So for security purposes, you have to click one of those three boxes in order to allow for the security measures to be met on a Zoom call. So I usually put waiting room so that the host or me, I can see who's asking to be let in and I can let them in. You can also have it so only people who have a Zoom account can join. However, if I chose to do this, most of you would not be able to join this class because most of you don't have a Zoom account. Yeah, in that case, it's typically best to just do a passcode or waiting room instead. You can also choose automatic settings. So is the video on or off for participants? What sort of audio is allowed? It's best to just click telephone and computer audio so any person from any device would be able to join. What's most important about scheduling a meeting is to make sure you click the save button at the end that turns blue once you've completed all of the required fields. So make sure that you have all that information laid out for your meeting and then press save. Lupita?
Yes, Bisma, I only can listen to you. I don't see you and I don't see what you are sharing until now. But I don't, yeah, and it keeps telling me Bisma started sharing her, the screen.
Yeah,
And,
I don't know if that means that maybe your Wi-Fi or are you joining from a phone?
Yeah, it's my phone, it's my cell phone, yes. And my Wi-Fi is supposed to be 5G, but God knows, right? It says that Comcast, yeah. Could be faulty, you're right. Now I can see you.
Oh, okay. At least you can see me now.
Yeah, but I've been missing a long parts of the class this time, longer, like started last. Thanks God at the last classes. I'm not missing that much, but
Yeah,
thank
and
you,
I
Bisma.
can also send you the recording in case you want to rewatch if you have time. But so I'm so sorry that's happening.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And so to the schedule meetings, again, you'll have to click one of those three security options, the passcode, the waiting room, or authenticated users to sign in order to schedule the Zoom meeting. Oh yeah, and just a reminder to make sure you press save at the end to officially schedule your Zoom meeting. So in order to see any scheduled meetings that you have coming up, you can look at that from the third tab from the home in the meeting section. In this icon, once you click it, it'll automatically take you to the scheduled meetings for your Zoom And so here you'll see it'll just show a drop down of things that are either reoccurring or once in a while. You'll see your personal meeting ID at the top as well. And this is unique for each person on Zoom. So yeah, so you should be able to theoretically see all the meetings that you have scheduled. And if you click on them, you can actually either start them ahead of time as the host. You can copy the invitation, and once you copy it, you'll be able to paste and send it to other people you want to invite. You can also edit any of the details. So if you wanted to change the time, the name, the security measures, you can go ahead and change that even before the meeting.
Okay, wait a minute. What, oh, I'm sorry, that's okay.
Oh,
Question, Bisma.
let's see. Dorothy's got a question, I think.
No, copy meeting, how did you get to that personal meeting ID?
Oh,
How did you get to copy the invitation?
so
Show meeting invitation.
so these are all the case once you make a Zoom account.
Yeah, once you do, okay, that's past here.
Yeah, so when you make a Zoom account, it'll let you start scheduling meetings. And
Okay,
so
yeah,
when
that's
I'm-
fine.
Yeah, so that's what I'm showing, the different ways. And if you click
Yeah.
the meetings tab at the top, after the third button, home chat meeting,
Oh, okay,
from the app, you'll be able to see any of the reoccurring meetings you have going on.
okay,
Mhm.
okay. Now, how do I copy the invitation and put it on the email? Is that where we do that?
Yeah, so when you click on any of the meetings that are coming up, you can
Yeah.
copy the invitation for that meeting. That's what people copy to send in an email to people to join.
Okay,
So that's what I send. So you can actually, because this is a class that people had to register for, and I'm the host, I can actually have Zoom. I just have to click like 5 buttons to get them to send everybody a Zoom confirmation again.
oh,
But you
okay,
can also just copy that and then send it to everybody yourself.
oh, okay.
All right, and that's the third meetings tab. Arya, what was your question?
Regarding security, can you choose passcode and then waiting room also at the same time?
You can do
Or
multiple.
does it have to be only one?
No, you can choose multiple.
Multiple. Another question. Regarding the ID, the meeting ID, do they automatically give you the ID, or do you create your own?
It automatically gives you the ID. It just, Zoom does it once you create the account with the email and password. Zoom will automatically create it.
Oh, I see. Because sometimes I can see passcodes which are a combination of letters and numbers. So it's given automatically.
Yes, but you can change the passcode too. So once you click passcode, it'll tell you what the passcode is immediately, but it'll also be a box, so you can change it. You can change.
So you have the option to change.
You can say cookies or something like that. You can write whatever.
Now regarding the email, because I'm trying to go to Zoom, and then it asks for my email and then password. Do I have am I supposed to create a password specifically or dedicated to Zoom?
Yes.
Oh, I cannot use my password for by email, something like that. No.
I wouldn't recommend it because if someone gets into one of those accounts, they'll have access to the other account with the same password. So it's best to make sure you use a different password for all the accounts.
Oh, I see.
Which is why LastPass from the digital safety presentation, that's helpful because it'll get rid of you having to memorize all the passwords or write them down.
Okay.
But we can, if you want, we can set up a LastPass together too, Arya. The password manager.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for your questions. And Tolumbuelu?
Yes, what does it mean when you don't remember setting up a Zoom? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. You don't remember setting up a Zoom account, but you're still able to get on Zoom?
So most people actually don't have a Zoom account.
Mhm.
Most people who are in this class don't have a Zoom account. You just had to register, which is like the process of putting your email and phone number. But in order to create a Zoom account, you'd have to set up an email and password specifically through zoom.us. And if you aren't sure if you made an account, go ahead and try signing up, and it'll tell you if this email already exists in their system. So you wouldn't be making a duplicate account on that email. Zoom will just tell you if there is an account or not.
Okay, so you can participate in Zoom meetings without having a Zoom account.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Why,
This
how?
is just an extra feature if you wanted to send your own meetings, you wanted to create a Zoom meeting and you want to send it to other people. That's how you do it. Mhm.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
but it's a time, there's a time limit on it when you don't have an account.
Yeah, when you don't have a paid account, it's 40 minutes. But theoretically, you can just keep making a new link and Zoom will never jeopardize you, and you can just send it out to the people again. That's how my friends and I used to do it, is that we would just keep texting a new link to each other whenever we wanted to restart a meeting. Zoom doesn't have any sort of restrictions on how many times you can restart a meeting. So it's food for thought, but yeah, like for instance, SDA pays for the paid account so that we're able to hold class for 2 hours without sending a new link every 40 minutes. Are there any other questions?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Linda. If we share a screen after the meeting is over, once the screen is shared, is it over, or do we have to log out, or?
It's over. So yeah,
And no
the
one
share
else
screen will only be for the duration of the call. Once you stop sharing screen, no one can access that information on that screen anymore.
I think what I'm asking is, if we share screens and do we have to end the sharing of the screen before the end of the program? What I'm really asking is there any way that your screen could be left on Zoom if you're not careful?
Only if you're the host of the meeting.
Or could it be left like what I did the other day? I logged into SDA, and is it possible if you don't log out that your open screen could be still left on your computer, Bismarck?
No. So because I'm the host, only the host so the host has the ability to end the call. So as long as someone presses the end call button, no one can see the screen anymore. So the minute that the Zoom call ends, it doesn't matter whose screen is being shared, it'll automatically just stop.
Yes.
But the thing is, if no one presses that button, no one presses that end, then it's going to be there for as long as it is.
So once the program's ended, everything is shut off.
Shut off.
Pretty basically. All right, thank you.
Of course. And Maya?
I had to turn my sound down a little while ago, and you may have already done this, but yeah, I use them a lot, but I'm wondering, I really wanted to learn how to do the live transcript. And do you have to have like a really high level paid account to be able to do that? Or is it?
I don't believe on the free version, the live transcript is available, unfortunately.
I had the first level, like it's like $15 a month or something level, and I have to check and see if I still have it or if it's expired. But can you do it with the first level, or does it have to be like an organizational?
I can check because I'm not sure what where the line is for that, and I can get back to you.
Okay, so it's an automatic. Once you have that level, it is something you can just click on. You don't have to have any skill about it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because that's something I've been really wanting to do when I do Zoom things, but I don't
There's
think I have.
also ways to assign people within a call to fix the closed caption too. So if there's like certain names or like organizational like abbreviations that Zoom often misspells, that can also be something that like other folks can help out. And the call is actually typing the right transcript from time to time. We don't do it at
Okay.
SCA, but I think it's a cool like way to think about disability access as a shared responsibility among the people in the call. So it could be something to trial too. But yeah, you can actually edit the transcript too as it's coming out.
Oh, you can. Oh, well,
Yeah.
you do like an extra class sometime to teach like that.
Yeah,
That part
that'd
of
be
it, I feel
cool.
like I'd really love. Like I get so much more out of things when I can copy and paste the live transcript. But because I can sometimes I just can't sit and pay attention for that long, but I can go back and read it.
Mhm.
Cool. Okay. Well, thank you.
We can definitely talk about holding a mini session next
Yeah.
month, to talk about that feature. And I'd love to. It's so fun.
I do too. It's really, I was like, it really has been the difference between me feeling like I could do online learning or not. Like I'm just super not an auditory learner.
Mhm.
So I just have a struggle with spacing out, and I just copy and paste these things into a Google Doc, and I do it in multiple colors, and it keeps me engaged in a way that even if the content is really interesting, I just can't pay attention for that long.
Yeah,
sitting.
I'm glad you're finding what works for you.
Yeah, no, it's been interesting to try to make my way. Okay, cool. All right, well, I'm looking forward to learning that as a peer advocate and as just a person who ends up using it a lot.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Great, thank you.
Are there any other questions before we move on?
Yes, what if we forgot our Zoom password? Somebody helped me set up an account on Zoom and then I forgot everything she taught me and I just had like a couple of exclamation points at the end, but what do we do if we forgot our Zoom password?
So typically when you go to the login page, zoom.us, it'll ask you if you forgot your password. If you remember what the email is and can get the email associated with the account, you'd be able to reset your password if you forgot it.
Okay, thank you.
Right. If there aren't any other questions, we're just gonna keep on going. All right, next I'm gonna talk about meeting controls. So this is all the controls you have basically as a host of a call. You have most of the same ones that you have, the unmute, the start video. But what's notable is that now you have a security tab. This security tab allows you to enable a waiting room, to lock the meeting, meaning no new people can join. You can also change around the settings on what participants are allowed to do, like share their screen or type in the chat. So some calls can actually disable the chat completely. You can give people the ability to rename themselves, unmute themselves, and you can also take that away under the security panel. You also have additional controls such as breakout rooms. So actually creating rooms for people to travel in within the call. And if you don't see some of these options as a host, it might actually be in the More tab that is typically here at the end near the reactions button. But yeah, so basically you're able to, as the host, mute participants. You can ask people to unmute, but you can't unmute anybody yourself. Likewise, you can stop people's video, but you're unable to start people's video. You can ask them to start, but you can't force anyone to do that. You can spotlight the video, which means only one video is being shown on at the other people's screens. You can rename participants yourself. You can end the meeting or remove participants as well. So this is what the waiting room controls look like. It lives right above the participants. So you'll see a list of all the participants in the call, and then you'll see this section that says waiting. Here you'll be able to admit people. You can also send a message to people in the waiting room like, sorry, we're running late, we'll start soon, or something of the sort. But the thing is, only you're able to message the people in the waiting room. They can't reply back to you when they're in the waiting room, unfortunately. But yeah, so you're able to broadcast messages out, but they're not able to send messages inside the waiting room. So under the participant list controls, there's other things you can do like mute people upon entry. You can ask or allow people to unmute themselves. You can play sounds when someone is leaving or joining a meeting, but depending on the size of your meeting, this might actually become a distraction. So if you have like 100 people in a meeting and every single time someone enters that meeting, you hear a little ding, like that can become very distracting. But if you have a small one, like say 13 people like here, it's nice to know who's coming and going in this space. So yeah, so you have those features available during the call as well. Now we'll quickly go over how to share your screen. So the sharing screen button is located at the bottom of your screen, and it's typically a green button with an arrow facing up. You can click on this or the little caret key on the side to give advanced sharing options. What's most important about sharing your screen is you actually have to have the browser or whatever you're showing already prepared and ready to go. You can't, unfortunately, if you share from your desktop, sometimes Zoom messes this up and doesn't show any new pop-up windows that you might have. So it's important to prepare ahead of time before you share your screen. So for instance, before everybody joins this class and I join the Zoom, I have the PowerPoint slides already up. So by the time I press the share screen button, all I have to do is press on the browser itself with the presentation. You'll also notice on the bottom, it has two options: share computer sound and optimize screen share for video clip. If you have any videos you're sharing during the presentation or music you want to share during the presentation, you have to click both of these buttons for every user to hear it directly from your computer. This means that any echo that might happen from the sound traveling back and to the computer will be destroyed. So it won't actually be what you hear. But make sure you have these shared pressed if you're sharing a video. And lastly, you'll have to click on the blue button that says share at the bottom right to start sharing your screen. So those are all of the lessons that I had today for Zoom. And I also did want to highlight that there are online technology classes that the Community Living Campaign holds specifically to help people understand how to use Zoom and other sorts of programs. So I wanted to highlight that CLC has an Apple help desk, so specifically for Apple products on Mondays from 10 to 12 p.m. There's an internet safety desk on Tuesday from 8 to 12 p.m. They have a virtual help desk, so any sort of virtual questions you might have that you're unsure about is also Tuesdays from 2 to 3 p.m. Or no, that's the Zoom help desk. The virtual help desk is Wednesdays. And this will obviously be shared in an email with the Google Slides at the end of the week, or actually later today. So you'll have all this information. They also have an Android help desk on Wednesdays from 3:30 to 5 p.m. So these ones that are designated particularly for specific tasks means that an expert is available in that specific topic. So Android's virtual help desk or Zoom, they all use the same meeting ID. So the same Zoom ID is used for all of these help desks. That is 873-8317-4373. I also included how you could join the CLC meetings from a phone. So here's the call number and the meeting ID. And so this is a good resource, especially in the off months that we don't have senior and disability university. And if you want to get particular help, that this might be a good place to also go, because these are literally staff that have these office hours available to help people for free. And you don't have to like sign anything or do anything like that to participate in these help desks. So they're a good resource, the community living campaign, and they've offered themselves to the students in this class as well. Are there any questions?
Yeah, how do we access the Apple Help Desk? It doesn't do like from our computer.
Yeah, so this is the information. So all you have to do is join the Zoom call ID, and this is the ID number here, the 873-8317-4373. So if you go to join a meeting and then put that number in, you'll be able to join the help desks.
Okay, where do we get join a meeting? Where do we?
I have a quick question about co-hosting.
Give me a second. I think Domisita is asking a follow-up question, and then I can answer your question, Maria.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is the, okay, what do we? It says join the-
Domisita, I'll send the help desk information in the email at the end of class, so you'll be able to get that from there.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Maria, you have a question about co-hosting?
Yeah, is it because when I'm in my certain account, it doesn't allow for co-hosting? So is it only available in certain like version of Zoom?
Yes, I believe you actually have to have like some sort of tier before co-hosting privileges are allowed. I know Zoom is changing it so much. They're becoming a lot more monetized. So a lot of features that once were available for free are becoming paid features.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
No.
Right. So with that, are there any other questions?
This is Dorothy. Okay. Go back again with the screen again, please. Did you? Okay, now, where is the number where you can call staff?
So
You said you could call staff when there's not
these are help desks. So
yeah, help desk. I know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
the number. Okay, go ahead.
So the meeting ID is 873.
Yeah. I got that, but I thought you said that you could call in to get help.
Oh yeah, you can call in. The call number is 669.
Okay, all right.
6833.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the call number. It'll ask for that meeting ID. So you'll have to give this meeting ID for that. It's 878-8317-4374, and you'll have to press the pound sign twice. And then these you'll be able to join from your phone if you wanted to.
Yeah, I guess I'm asking the wrong question, I guess. I'm not getting but the answer to, what I think I'm asking.
So
okay.
Maybe we can step back and try to see the big picture then. So
it's okay. It's all right. It's just I'm asking, like when there's no meeting or anything and you're on trying to do something and it's somebody there and you want to get some help. Is that possible? That's possible.
So are you asking?
For instance, if you say call you between 2:30 and 3, if I wanted to call you at 10 o'clock in the morning, can I call you at 10 o'clock in the morning and get some help? Maybe that's a better question.
Yeah, I understand that question now. So depending on if I'm free or not, like if I have things scheduled for that day or a meeting, I'm more than willing to help out. But the SDUs are a good place for all of us to co-learn together. But if there are specific things that come up, like, oh, this problem is coming up with my computer or this with my social media device, yeah, I'd love to schedule one-on-one meetings with you.
Okay,
as my schedule allows. Yeah. But to know that these are like paid staff time for another organization that does the same services that I do. And it might be a good place for them to also just have that engagement as well. So if there's a question that you have in the off seasons of SDU, this is a good place to go as well. So another resource in case I'm not available.
okay. Okay, thank you.
Of course. All right, and so are there any other questions? Okay, if not, we're gonna move into announcements then. First, we're gonna talk a little bit about the location for graduation, since that is coming up. And I wanted to see if people were open to possibly meeting in the Senior Disability Action Office or Dolores Park for the San Francisco one. The reason why I was thinking about Dolores Park is in case we wanted to be outside and enjoy the weather that's been oddly warm recently. We could go to Dolores Park, but if we want it to be indoors, we can think about the Senior and Disability Action Office. I know that Maya has been working really hard to try and get the LGBTQ Center to host us, but I don't think that they'll possibly be able to in time with the size of our class. I see
This is Dorothy.
Yes.
Dorothy Cook. You know where we have the meetings up at the church, the general meetings?
Oh yeah, yeah, I know. Are you considering that? Would that be
No,
open?
I just thought that that might be
Ooh,
a
a
place.
good-
You know,
That's a good location too. Do you know if they're open right now? Like, would they be willing
I
to?
don't know. I guess we can find out.
Okay, yeah, I'd be willing to look into it.
Okay.
But maybe for now we can say Dolores Park, but in the event that I'm able to speak with the church and get them to see if they can sponsor us, then we might consider that church.
What church?
It's what is it called? Is it First?
Is it the First Unitarian or something or other? Well, I know we meet up there with the
Yeah,
SGA,
Unitarian.
SGA general meetings. Cora, do you know the name of where we used to meet?
Yes, the Unitarian Church there on Franklin and Gary.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I'll try giving them a call then to see if we could possibly be hosted in the space for the graduation. But in the event that it's not, let's do Dolores Park then as the second option, because it's BART accessible. So people who are in Oakland might be able to join us as well.
It's BART accessible. Okay.
But for now, we'll say Dolores Park, which is on Wednesday from 1 to 3, but I will call the church to see if they'll be able to host us instead.
Okay.
All right. And so with that, there's just 2 quick announcements that I have, and I'll start to share my screen. Just a reminder that the free wheelchair repair clinic is this Friday at the Clementina Towers from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's going to be a great place for you to just meet people and socially interact with some of the Senior and Disability Action staff and members. There are like paid people that repair who will be there. So if you do have a wheelchair that needs to be repaired or know of people that need repairs, this would be a great time for them to stop by and get that done for free. And then the last thing is that San Francisco's Larkin Street is having a flea market. The flea market is on December 4th from 12 noon to 6 p.m. I might actually be vending there with my incense and skincare products. So in case you want to come by, I might be tabling there. So that's on the 4th. It's going to be on the Larkin Street from 12 to 6 p.m.
That's a big street.
It is a big street.
Where you say on Larkin Street? Where? Okay, let's go over that again. Where on Larkin Street?
I think it's so all it says is in between O'Farrell and Eddie, but they're actually planning on having it throughout the entire like stretch.
Oh, are you serious? Oh, okay.
Let me find, because they actually sent a plan as well, so I can share that in that email that goes out at the end. Oh, I'll have a Bisma Ki Bazaar sign, so you'll see me. I'll share it too. If I am tabling, I'll send more information to the class in case you want to see me. But let's see. I'll send it in the follow-up email, the actual stretch of the road that I'll be on. But are there any other announcements that folks have? Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating in our last full Wednesday class.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Great to see everybody.
Thank you, Bisma. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, thank you.
We can always
Okay.
go to SD Action to check on all the announcements, right?
Yeah.
If I go to SD Action 1 or just SD Action on
SD Action
Facebook,
1.
everything is there.
Yes.
You post everything, right?
Yes, I post
Great,
everything on our
great.
account.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Yesterday.
I could barely
Okay,
hear.
thank you.
Bye-bye, guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
bye, guys.
Have a good
Thank
night.
you.
So,
Bye-bye.
Bisma, is this the last class with you?
Monday.
Monday is the last one. Okay, thank you. Have a good night. Thank you,
This-
guys. Bye-bye.
Okay, this is
Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Bye,
Bisma,
Jordi.
I'll call you
Bye,
then because
Dorothy.
I have one more question. Okay. But
Okay.
I'll call you. I'll call you and ask you.
Okay, sounds good. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Good night.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Thank
Karma.
everyone for the participation and learning so much more.
Oh, y'all are
Thank
so
you.
sweet.
Uh,
All right, I will end the
Hi,
meeting.
guys.
I
Bye.
can't get out of this. Oh, there it is.